I do have a backstory to the first gen ML. So sit back and relax, and I'll tell you the backstory to why did I get this car. What we have here is a W163. It's a 2005 ML350 with a 3.7 liter with only 69,000 and some change miles. Quite low for a car this old. Might be one of the fewest that in existence with this low mileage. As you can see, the condition quite spotless, with the exception of the headlights. These are known to have brown hazy eyes. Roof rack, all originals, well kept, well maintained. Everything works in the car. There are two versions of this particular model. There's a sport special edition, has more amenities, more features than this one. This one is, I presume it's the basic model of the ML350 for 2005. This is the first gen, and there have been several since then. Very basic instruments, cluster, info entertainment center, your climate control, your switches. These are very simple to operate. No fancy stuff, which I really like. Look at the condition of the seats. They're almost perfect. I do have a backstory to the first gen ML. So sit back and relax, and I'll tell you the backstory to why did I get this car, not the newer one ML. Why this has to be the one. Well, here's the backstory to why I purchased this ML first gen Mercedes SUV. Well, back in 1997, my late brother, my younger brother, and myself, we went to see the movie Jurassic World in 1997. And this particular car was featured in that movie. And as soon as this car came into scene, my late brother and I, we just simultaneously look at each other and just were in awe of this car. So, and we said to ourselves that, you know, if any part of our lives, if we ever to afford one of these, well, of course, back in the day, we couldn't afford anything, and this thing was expensive. So we said to ourselves, we look at each other and said, hey man, if we can't afford this, this is the car we're going to get. Well, that was 1997, and we're in 2025, so that was 27 years ago, 28 years ago. So the reason I get this car is to remind me of my brother and I and my little brother that we went to see that movie. So it's nothing, that this is the perfect car, the best car on the market. Is not that. It's just for on his behalf of his memory that he and I shared that moment. So yeah, that's the backstory, and now I feel that every time I get in and drive it, he's riding along with me everywhere I go. So brother, this is for us, and let's go for a ride. Wherever I go, you go, and I miss you dearly every single day. Yep, that's the backstory that to why I get this 20-year-old car. Why not a newer one? Why not a new ML? Well, if I get the newer ML, anything from 2006 or newer, it wouldn't be the same. The story wouldn't, sync with what happened between he and I and my younger brother. So that's why, I was in search for this particular car. I mean, there are plenty out there, but to get it in a decent condition, low mileage, and could last for another 10 years. I found this in Santa Barbara, so about 120 miles from Long Beach. My wife and we drove up to Santa Barbara last Friday and pick her up. And here's the interesting story as well. And the seller and myself, we were shocked. We were puzzled, goosebump. The registration date on this car has the same exact birth date as my brother. The seller's wife birth date is also the same as my late brother. Yeah, go figure, right? So as soon as I heard that, as soon as I saw the registration date on it, and I go, no way, that is his birth date. And then the wife goes, that's my birthdays as well. So I had to show them my late brother copy driver's license to show the date, and sure enough, the date on the his driver's license, on the seller's driver's license, and the registrant date all registered as the same birthday as my late brother. Can you believe that? So yeah, that's another interesting story to it. Okay, so yeah, that's the main reason I got a 20-year-old car instead of something newer, better. But better, newer isn't always better. But in my case, the backstory sets well with this car, and no other car would do so. Yeah. So if you made yourself this far, now you heard the story of why I purchased this car. Thank you. And rest in peace, brother. We'll meet again. So believe it or not, this is my first ever SUV that I've ever owned. Can you believe that? And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. First SUV ever. I've always been a truck guy and still is. But you know why I get this, right? All right.